Welcome to Unstable Chats.
Good morning, Internet, and welcome back to another episode of Unstable Chats with Lorraine and Susan. And today we're just going to have a chat.
Yep.
So, okay.
Well, our main topic will be
Our horses this week. Definitely our horses this
Our
week.
horses,
And the heartbreak.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of heartbreak.
how have you been getting on so without them since we've been back in?
Grand, since we've been, well, will I tell them the backstory?
Start from the beginning and give them the
how long ago? Would it have been a year and a bit ago?
It's a year and a bit, because we
Yeah.
started kind of mid last year when we were riding together.
April, May.
Get to the point, didn't it? Like
Yeah.
get to the diagnosis nearly.
Yeah, we went out a couple of times to school, and here or there we would have been hacking. I found that every now and again he was doing this funny step behind, and sometimes he'd do it and sometimes he wouldn't. And I'd say, Susan, is he laying behind? And she'd like, no, can't see
it. Turn on, and they were like,
no, it's fine, he's sound. And then one day we were in an arena, I think it was up in Athlone, and he jumped a little cross pole. We were schooling, and after the cross pole, whatever way he came down with his hind legs, he kind of dipped and went down. And then he done a couple of lame steps, and then we trotted on, and I said, oh God, he's sore, I'll stop. So we had a little look at him, and after that, I stretched him out, and he was fine then.
And he was okay again.
He's fine, and he never done that weird thing behind. And anyway, long story short, it was on and off. It was random times. I was asking my husband to check him. He was like, no, he's not lame. And he didn't do the step then, this weird step thing behind.
It was really straight. Lorraine was like, I think I'm crazy because nobody can see it.
Nobody
but
can
then
see it.
we were riding on the road up in Sleeve Booms. We were riding down the mountain. And that's when I saw it, I think, for the first. It was really obvious going downhill.
That was when he started to get sore. And I had the physio out. And she said maybe he's weak, he needs to strengthen up. So I started doing strengthening exercises with him. And as well, I did bring him to a vet, and they said no, he's not lame. And so I was thinking, right, it's in my head. And I still had a gut feeling there was something going on. I just could not get to the bottom of it. And then he went, that day we went down the hill. I said, no, he's lame. He's lame. And I said, I'm going to stop riding and I'm going to bring him to a good vet. So I went to with who I know up in Rathout, and they referred me on to Wether equine. And we figured out that he had lump cartilage in between his stipe joint, and basically the result was surgery, and that lump had to be shaved off. And I'm so grateful for the vet that done it, Ger Kelly. And since then, it was kind of around this time last year when he got the operation, so it's been a long year.
Yeah.
I was on the ground. It was a lot of rehab in hand.
Box rest.
It was box rest at the rest after the operation.
He recovered well though. Like he was a good patient.
Yeah.
He was a good patient, and he recovered well. I think one of the biggest things was not being treated like you were crazy by a vet that couldn't see it, right?
Yeah.
Because so many people had said I couldn't see it. I only saw it the odd time it was. So
and it wasn't even a lame step. It was weird.
Just a little over on his foot, and it was such a long, slow process before he went lame. You know, and when you're asking vets and they're saying no, and you're starting to doubt yourself, like that was tough. But Wether equine. And even the guys up in Rathout, they used
straight away. Yeah, I was delighted now with
like even that little bit of relief.
Con and his son Kean, I was delighted now. I mean, they knew where it was straight away. But I think that it could have, like, let us say, breakdown. No, I didn't have a breakdown. But you know, you have your dreams when you have. I broke him as a 3-year-old. And brought him on, and then thinking, oh well, I'm going to be jumping when he's 5 or 6, and you know, and then this happens, and you're a year behind, and not even a year behind, but there's everything you have to catch up on. There's lessons.
They're starting all over again. Yeah.
And that's where I didn't sit on Albert for 9 to 10 months, and getting back up then, before he started to go lame, we had an accident up the road and I came off. It was wet, there was a Jeep and trailer involved, and Albert got off big fright, and long story short, I came off. So I was kind of dealing with that as well, getting back, and the roads being busy.
The confidence issue.
The confidence issue.
But we took
it was
slow.
hard. Yeah, we did. We took it very, very slow, and thank God I have Susan, and she did take it so slow.
I don't care what speed I go, as long as I'm sitting on a horse, that is my thing. It's always been my thing, you know. But we start from the beginning, baby steps, and just go from there. You build up.
And the confidence as well came from having the Equisolve Calmate, and with the groundwork and everything else, and building up back slowly. I mean, it took. I said to the vet, I don't care if this horse needs 6 months to a year, a year and a half, 2 years in the field. I said, I'll do the work. I want him to be right. And there's a lot of people, I think, want to get back out there and want to get riding, and the vets go, right, give him this injection, get him back on the road. But I have to reiterate that with them. I said, no, I'll give him time, you know. Now I got a lend of a horse, and I was very grateful for that as well. A very good friend of ours, and that kind of kept me going and kept my head sane. But
and you rode Maisie a bit as well. It's helpful to me, like, you know.
Oh, definitely, that was great as well. And having those lone horses in between. I know it's never the same as your own horse, but
it's a tough road. It is a tough road, like you said yourself. Like you have all these dreams, and suddenly the path you have to take is so different from what you had been hoping, and you know. Then even when you get the all clear and you are back in the saddle and you build up the confidence and you're back going again, every time you're right, you're like, it's going to happen again. Is it happening again? So that constant fear is there.
For the last, even to this day, I will trot him around that arena and I'll go, he done a funny step. Is it going to happen again? Is he lame again? Is there more cartilage in the other joint? Now he got scanned, he got checked all over for all his joints, and the vet said he can't pinpoint exactly what happened or why, but it was kind of just one of those things.
A weird thing. But you went with your gut. You knew your horse. You listened to him, and you kept pushing until they got the diagnosis, like until somebody listened. And that's like a lot of people would have said, well, no offense to anybody, but a lot of people wouldn't even notice for starters that wrong, because it was that odd. You would think that he was just being lazy or not paying attention, or that he tripped, or weak, because that's what I said. I said pole work. I was like, oh, pole work, load of pole work on the ground and stuff. And lots of people would have just rode on, and then he would have turned up lame, and God knows what would have happened. Like, but even taking the time, which is a pain in the hole, like, you know, you're like, because you are itching to get back, no matter what you say, like, that's what you have horses for. That's what we love about it. We love everything, but that's like, that's the brain thing, isn't it? But being able to take a step back and say, look, either I do it right this time, or I'm going to suffer the consequences. And like, take the time, let the problem heal, and then go back slowly, build, and then you'll just have that longevity in a horse, and your relationship is a lot better too.
I've done a lot of groundwork with him, and I know I would have done a lot of groundwork with him when I'm breaking him, when I was starting him. People don't say breaking anymore. That's old school, I think. We our relationship would have got better as well, but I said the Equisolve helped us. I put him on that camera, we done the groundwork, and Susan would have helped us on the road as well, and I felt a lot more comfortable going out back on the roads, and so far everything's been great. And next week, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to our first group lesson.
And I can actually attest to this, right? Because from the very beginning, when we got the all clear to go back riding him again, and we were so wary of him, especially the road and stuff, and we kind of started to step too far ahead of ourselves, and we had to drop it back again. We started hacking, and then we were like, no, let's go back to doing just arena and little bits small. So we did do that. But up to this point, where in the last 2 weeks he's tried to buck her off a couple of times, and all she's been doing is laughing her off and enjoying it, and she's riding him because she knows he's not.
He's feeling really good
himself. You know he's feeling good, so you're like, let's do this, like, let's have fun. So like, you're all the way back to that point now, which I think is amazing. Like, that's what that's what the aim is.
And it's been a long year, and to get on the other side of it, to see the other side of it, especially, and it's hard. Now, I was Susan's biggest cheerleader when when my horse was off and her horse was on, and I went to the shows with her, and I would have groomed her, and I wanted to see her get on, as much as it pains me, because I wasn't out my horse, and everyone was going to hunter trials, things like that, and you're just like, you're sitting there going, oh, it's killing me. But I wanted her to get that, made me happy to see her getting on.
Yeah, and she was there for me 100% of the way, even with lessons and giving me lessons, and we went schooling together and everything, like, so it was 100%.
And but you were there for me with when you were riding your horse. You done everything I asked when I was on the ground with him, and I wasn't sure of a couple of things, you know.
And Maisie was a great babysitter, to be honest.
Brilliant.
Well. She's very good like that.
I'm so thankful. Yeah, so we're on the other side, and it is hard.
On the other side as well, aren't
Yeah, we're still, and I was lucky enough. I got a loan and sorted out an arena here, which I'll probably be paying back for the rest of my life. But and sold the kidney for, but you know.
Get an OnlyFans page.
She won't talk about that. But yeah, no, it's great to be back on the other side of it.
I keep getting eyeballed by Maisie, by the way. She's like, what the fuck am I standing in this stable? Let me out.
Do you want to?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But I will. Yeah, so my story is long though. Like, there's so many moving parts to my story, but in a nutshell, from the beginning, I had two of my own horses that I loved more than life itself. I had a lovely Connemara, who was just the biggest baby, right? You know, I loved him, and I had Maisie. And then circumstances changed and life changed as it happened. So I had to have surgery, so I had to sell Freddie in order to pay for said surgery. And then I was almost made homeless because I lost the place where I was living with delivery, so I had to sell Maisie because I had no land and I had to move. But eventually, after everything that happened, I bought my house, which was my goal. Like, I was trying to buy a house, and I bought the house. And during that time, I would probably have maybe stopped riding horses altogether if it hadn't been for meeting Lorraine and becoming friends in the pandemic with Lorraine, because she had Jack, a little 4-year-old cob, and I adored him, so I was riding him away for the whole lot. Like,
yeah, which is also very helpful to me as well, because I had two youngsters, same age, and
same kind of idiots.
Yeah. And I was struggling finding it hard to ride too, with the kids and school runs and everything like that. And I was very lucky that Susan came along, and I said, let's ride him while I ride him, and we can go together. And she
snapped the hands off her, so I did taking the offer, like, so it was great. I got to keep riding while I was saving and buying the house and everything. And then last year I got a call from the people who I'd sold Maisie to, because I keep in contact with the buyers of my horses, basically, to make sure that they're okay. And they were looking to sell Maisie, and I jumped at the chance to buy her back. So that was last August, and yes,
we're here a year now.
Myself and Lorraine went down and we picked her up from Limerick, and we brought her home. And we were riding away. Maisie was a little bit overexcited because I think she's been doing a little bit of eventing and stuff like that, and she just wanted to go fast. So I spent a lot of time just hacking, taking it slow, telling her that she didn't need to be racing around, and getting her brain back in order, which was great, because I only wanted to go kind of handy, and
it was good for me though, because we were going handy as well.
Exactly, so it worked out kind of well for both of us. So we were doing that, and I had plans of doing show jumping, some country tribing, riding club stuff, everything that I kind of had planned to do 5 years ago, and it all got taken away from me. And
you had a great day in Rossgrave.
I did have a great day. Rossgrave was there in February, March, was it February? It was earlier this year. I can't really remember, to be honest, but I had worked right up to it to get her back to herself, because lads had brought her to a hunter trials in Anna Harvey. And I thought I was going to die because I could not stop her. And we were only doing the pre-novice, and she was just like a tank. And she's never been like that with me. Like, she's always had a turbo gear, but always had brakes. Never, ever had an issue. But Jesus Christ, so I actually didn't even finish the course. I had to retire because I was afraid the two of us were going to flip over a fence. So after that, we worked even more at just walking everywhere, walking and then trotting into fences, trotting after fences. And we did a lot of schoolwork. But I was, like Lorraine, had a niggle for a long time that something wasn't right. So last year, her diet wasn't right. And I got her scoped and she had ulcers. And we got that sorted. And that once that was sorted, it was sorted. So touch wood for this winter. But I still felt like something wasn't right. And I couldn't pinpoint it. But then just there in the last couple of months, we'd be jumping and she'd start to plunge after a fence. Now she wasn't dropping a shoulder and she wasn't bucking fully, but it just was way out of character for Maisie. Yeah. So I pulled up and I just stopped. We just stopped altogether because it just wasn't right for her. And she'd been dragging her toe a little bit on hacks, so we knew there was probably something. We thought maybe the SI, and that's why I booked her into Anglesey anyway. I brought her up and I spent a half a day in Anglesey, the vets, on a Friday, until like 6 o'clock or something. Like they were there way after they should have been closed. Nerve blocking her for lameness tests, and it turned out she has navicular on her front feet, both feet, and a hind suspensory damage, which is chronic damage. There's no tear or hole or anything like that, but it's been there a while, and it's going to be very hard to rehab it because the fibres are stretched. So basically my horse is cropped and my gut feeling was right. Always go with your gut feeling, lads. You know your horse better than anybody else. And even if other people are saying, oh, she doesn't look lame. Maisie didn't look lame. No. Maisie never looks lame. I had Maisie for a long time before I sold her, and she was lame once because she had shoes on that were too tight and were pinching her. So she wasn't lame, but she just keeps going, and she's such a high trot that she just doesn't show up lame very easily. But she did after she was nerve blocked. It was terrible. I was like mortified, going, oh my God, I only came up here with a hind leg injury. And my horse is just like cropped. But look, she's had 6 weeks off now. And I have a rehab plan from Anglesey for her. So we started that yesterday. She's to be walked twice a day for 6 weeks, building up the time and stuff. And then she'd get rescanned and see how she is. And I'll probably get the other suspensory scanned as well, just because, look, if 3 legs are gone, it's nearly guaranteed 4 legs are actually causing issues. Luckily, one of the best things about it was the navicular diagnosis. She's worse in one leg she's worse in one foot than the other. But the vet didn't recommend injections because he doesn't think it's that advanced. He reckoned remedial shoeing would be like the best thing right now, and probably, so luckily enough, Lorraine's husband is my farrier, and he is Lee Murphy, and he is a brilliant farrier. And in fairness, he got onto her straight away, like took his time, figured out the problem, figured out what he was going to do, how he was going to shoe her, what would be best for her. So she got hot shod with 2 bar shoes on the front and 2 wider shoes on the back, just to help with the flexion and the landing. So he looked after her 4 legs for the 2 different problems, and the difference in her was immediate. Like, she was much more comfortable. She was able to turn her body instead of pivoting around the leg. She was able to move her whole body again, and that's so she was much more comfortable. So that'll be done every 6 weeks regular. Now Maisie was already getting shot every 8 weeks on the button. I never let it go past 8 weeks. Because
7 actually even.
Yeah, I would look for it a little bit early, like, because
if I gave my husband a nice dinner.
A nice dinner, yeah. That's what she calls it. But just to me, it's not good enough to kind of leave shoes on until they fall off, or until the hooves get long, because as soon as Maisie's hooves get a little over long, I can feel it when I'm riding her that she's off balance in the canter, or she'll come up short, and I can just feel it. I can feel it in her. Not as bad as I used to be able to feel it in Freddie. If Freddie went a little bit long, he'd start falling over himself. Honestly, he was brutal. But getting it done regular, especially for a horse that has issues now like Maisie, it's so important. She has to be kept on that strict schedule. Yeah. So all my money has gone on the vet, and the shoes and the farrier and stuff, and the Equisolve. And I know we're brand ambassadors for Equisolve, but Maisie was on the original, and now she's on Vitality Plus. So because it has, it's the best for pain relief and anti-inflammatory and stuff like that in it. So it'll do great for her gut health and for any issues that she has in her joints as well.
Yeah.
And luckily she'd no arthritis in her hocks or anything like that, because I got that scanned as well. And I also got her ovaries and her uterus scanned. And that was on the recommendation of Anthony Coyne when he was here, just because of a few things that I was telling him, and he just thought maybe that was a good idea. But they're perfect. There's not a bother on them, so she could have a baby in the future if she wanted to. She's looking at me funny there, lads, so we won't talk about that out loud, apparently. I feel you, Maisie. I'm with you, babe. So, look, she's doing her rehab program now, but it's like we're on kind of the opposite end of things, isn't it? Like, you've gone through it and you're out the other side, and I'm now at the beginning of it. And I was devastated. I won't lie, I was very bad for a couple of weeks. I went into a hole of depression, because I'd do anything to make sure Maisie was comfortable and happy. And I'd spend whatever money, and it doesn't matter to me as long as she's happy. But we had all these plans and hopes and stuff. Like, I really wanted to get back show jumping, and I really wanted to get out back at novice level doing the hunter trials and stuff, and do a couple of one-day events. Like, I've had plans and dreams for the last 10 years with horses, and not one of them has come to fruition. Now, we did go to Roscrea and we came sixth, and we had a great day, and we did some dressage, and it was great. But everything I've done in the last 9 months is now tinged with guilt, because my horse was probably not right the whole time.
No, but I think you got it on time.
I hope so, but I can't. I'm a very guilty person anyway. I feel guilty about a lot of things. So.
Yeah, but we don't, as people, we don't know. And you went
we're terrible.
You went with your gut. Yeah, but as I think horse owners will always feel guilty no matter what happens. I've seen a post of someone who recently on the internet just realised her horse had ulcers as well, and she was so sorry about it, and she said, oh, she showed me a few signs, but it's so hard because our animals can't talk, and we have to go on nearly sign language to decide whether it's naughty behaviour, like whether it's feeling good, whether it's in pain, whether it's just done it because they got a fright, whether it's the day that's in it. There's so many different conditions to take into it. Like,
and I just point out as well, if you have a mare, that just adds to it, lads.
That's why I have geldings.
Geldings are just the same. They're like men, right? They're the same every day. There are no hormone spikes.
Once you feed them.
That thing, like, honestly, sometimes doing upper girt and she turn around and she hit you a box, like, and it's not pain. It's just like her saying, I do not consent to this. I do not consent to this. So, like, that can be a little bit harder as well, And the guilt, you're there and you do feel bad about it. And you're right. I mean,
even when Albert, like, I was like, did I do it?
Yeah.
Did I do it when I jumped off that crossbow?
And I'd be like, no, Lorraine, what are you worrying about? Like, it was just this.
Don't
It was
say
just
that
not.
about
Don't say
yourself.
that about yourself. And then I'd be like, I'm a cunt. That's what I am. But
I should have known, and I think that's the thing we kill ourselves over is I should have known. Why didn't I do something sooner? But the fact that you've done, first of all, you went and done something about it. You spent all your money on it. I mean, I got a loan for his operation and sold things for his operation. I done all I could, and just to, and even the thoughts were running through my head. What if he doesn't come right? What if he needs another operation? And I said, you know what? Don't look. We're not there yet. And even talking to the vet, I said, what if this doesn't work? And he said, look, talking stem cell treatment. And I said, how much does that cost? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna faint. And he just goes, look, we're not there yet. Don't talk about it. He said, there's no point in saying it. Yeah. So I said, he's right. And there's no point in worrying about it because it hasn't happened yet. You can't do anything about anything in the past that's happened. You can't do anything about what's going to happen in the future. What you can deal with is what's in front of your hand right now. And we've been doing that every day. I've been trying to keep that in my head every day.
You move forward.
And even when he was feeling good in the woods and he he's fallen asleep there. When he done his little, put the head down and done a little plunge, like, I was well able for it. Like, I sat up and pulled his head up and then kicked him on and we went on and cantered again. But I felt good. I'm glad that happened because I was like, oh, I can ride, you know, because I've had so many doubts in my head over not riding him and what he can do, what he will do. The day we fell off in the road, we always think about those things that have happened. But Susan said to me, what about all the thousands of days you had on him that were good and nothing happened?
We're very
he's
quick
not
to
a bad
yeah,
horse.
we're very good at remembering
Never,
the bad
you know,
shit and
yeah.
not pointing out like the good stuff. But
And it's
it's
about
easy to
what you can.
forget.
It's so easy to forget because we do zoom in on the bad things. But I'm well able to control my horse. It's just
You're well able to
sometimes
ride.
the bad thoughts come in on you and they attack your confidence. And
I have advice on that, which I've given to lots of people.
Yeah.
Number one, if you're on your horse, whether you're in an arena or whether you're out hacking or whatever else, and you're starting to feel tense and nervous,
yeah,
you open your mouth, you drop your jaw because stop clenching your teeth, and you sing or you talk to your horse, or you narrate exactly everything that's going on. Like
Disney songs.
There's Disney songs. I have a Disney song playlist on Spotify that I play when I'm hacking on my own.
Yeah.
And like every hack goes fine, even when people are trying to murder me. It's great. But like there are things you can do.
Yeah.
And then like sometimes I'd be like that, getting nervous about stuff, and I'm like, if that 10-year-old child can jump that, you get up, jump it as well, because you're not going to be showing up by a 10-year-old. That's my thing.
Yeah.
And then also like, either ride the horse or get off the horse.
Yes.
Because you can't have it everywhere. Like you're up here to do a job,
shit or get off the pot.
Shit or get off the pot. That's a big thing. But
no, that's not advice for anybody out there.
You can take it as advice. I don't mind.
We say that to ourselves.
TM.
We say that to ourselves.
But I mean, for me, Maisie's 16. She has these things wrong with her. I had to be told a lot by someone that she's not finished. Because I was like, she's retired now and that's the end of it and we'll never do anything. And that might not be the case. And she might get back out hacking and doing a bit depending on how her recovery goes. But I do know that we're never going to do the things that I wanted to do. And that's still a tough thing to accept because I'm not in a position to loan a horse. I'm not in a position to buy a new horse. Maisie's what I've got. So there's no point in complaining about it anymore because complaining isn't the right word. I don't think I complain about it that much. Like there's nothing being miserable about it anymore because all I can do
is work with
what's in front of me, and see where we go from there.
And she'll always get the best. Always get the best of the best, and we'll give her every chance.
Like she lives in the best livery yard in the world, and she gets looked after like the princess that she is. To be fair, and if we get back out doing a little bit of hacking, look, I'm waiting on an operation. I am being waitlisted for a 2-level spinal fusion. Yeah. It's not like getting out of Venton was probably going to be good for me anyway. This place is thinking I'm going to be in a wheelchair. So in a lot of sense, or a lot of ways, the way my brain thinks, I think the universe is talking to me a lot. I'm a bit crazy about it, but most of me now is saying there has to be a reason why Maisie has come up this way. And is it to prevent something happening that shouldn't happen to me? And maybe this is just the path that we're meant to be on. You have the option of reading from Maisie. The only thing that I know 100% is if I ever was to put Maisie in foal, it would be for me. It would be for my next horse. It wouldn't be something to sell because you guys won't get a chance to see how amazing a horse Maisie is. I've hunted, I've done amazing things on her, and you can bring her anywhere. You can put her in any kind of a crowd or a group, the beach. You can do anything with her. Like she's such 100%, to do anything with. That if I was to have another horse, I want a bit of her in it, to be honest. So I mean, I have an option to do that. It's not something that I've cemented into my head. I go back and forth a lot on it, don't I? But that's where we are. I can still wear the gear though. I mean, I'm not going to get on a horse or anything like that.
Fabulous Equa-Era.
Equa-Era and my Lamoo socks. But look, green and blue, green and blue.
Yeah,
green
no, I'm
and
matching.
blue, green and blue. But yeah, so that's where we're at with horses. I'm rehabbing, she's riding. Yeah. Last year she was rehabbing, and I was riding.
So. It takes turns, but I think reaching out, talking to somebody about it, and
if I didn't have you, I'd be I don't like to think about where I would be if I hadn't had Lorraine, and let alone the fact that you're
I'm the same for you.
you are like the two of us
definitely.
for each other. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we've definitely supported each other through the worst of times with horses and everything else. Like, so yeah, Jesus. And somebody said last week, actually, after seeing the first episode, that we were lucky to have each other, and
Yeah.
you don't know how right you are. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I can't go away my whole life for a friendship that was like this. You know. By the
And
way, I'm just putting this out there on the internet, right?
Okay.
I am 40 next week. So send all your presents to 2 Horse Reviews at gimme.com.
Oh, we have a big surprise coming next week. It's Susan's birthday. Shh, don't tell her.
It's a new horse.
I'm not telling her. I'm going to kidnap her and bring her somewhere.
It's a magic cure for Maisie. No,
I wish I could give that. No, but I'm going to kidnap her and bring her somewhere. But we won't say anymore.
And I'm
about that.
excited about it because who doesn't love being kidnapped and being brought somewhere they don't know where it is? It's great. Now
we unexpectedly we got some fan mail in the post.
Thank you so much, guys. You're so good.
And we said we would read them live on air. So Susan, do you want to take this one?
Sure. Yeah, it's got an envelope and everything, lad. I brought 2 some as well, like so.
Oh, great. Some came to Susan's house, some came to my house.
Hand delivered. Okay, so this is Rough Rider, number 2, Flowerville, the Bog, Cloughan. Thank you, Rough Rider. Dear 2 Horse Reviews, I was wondering, would you be able to help me out with a habit I've had over the last few years? When I feel a fart coming, I quickly cup my hand and put it behind my bum to catch it. I do this so I can smell it. Sometimes I chase my boyfriend around the house asking him to smell it. Do you think this is weird? Or do any of your other fans do this? It's a comfort thing I've had for a while. After all, it's just nature. Many regards, Rough Rider. Well, Rough Rider. All I can say is, stop stealing my fucking bit! That's what I do! You can't have it, that's mine! Also, you know, make sure your boyfriend consents to you doing that though as well. We're all about consent here at 2 Horse Reviews, and possibly, if you can, get in touch with some kind of a therapist. That would be my recommendation for that. Therapy or an insanity asylum.
I mean, we all have, habits. And I suppose it's...
You tried out with Juliet wrong.
Please don't chase me your fart.
I chased it with Maisie's fart. Oh, the cat farts at me a lot, so yeah, blah.
Thanks, Rough Rider, and stay safe.
Our very first fan mail ever, and stay safe, and please, don't ever write to us again.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lorraine, I have a selection of fan mail that came to my house. So if you would like to...
that's a lot.
Yeah, isn't it a lot? Yeah, you might want to pick
this
one.
one. Okay. Now, dear 2 Horse Reviews, this is from Anonymous. Okay, and that's okay. You guys can write to us anonymous.
Fair enough.
I really love your internet videos. They are so funny. I also like unstable chats. Aw,
thank you so much.
I am your biggest fan.
Wow.
Please, will you do an episode talking about your horses?
Oh my god, we just did! You're welcome.
And I love you.
Oh, we love you too. That's so nice.
Lovely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Oh, thank you, Anonymous.
You were very good to us.
I think I'll read this one, will I? Yeah. Dear 2 Horse Reviews, why not I see you horse? Me think horse deserve more threats. Espe Albert, as him is hungry and not enough grass. Please feed now. Nice try, Albert. I think Albert wrote that one. I don't think it would be accepting that. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Albert.
Hungry boys.
More treats.
One more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, why not? We have so many fans now. Thank you for. Please
you.
keep writing to us. This is great. We love the attention. It's brilliant.
Dear 2 Horse Reviews, I liked your unstable thing. I have a question for Susan. Okay. What weapon would you pick of the zombie apocalypse. Sorry, what weapon would you pick if the zombie apocalypse happened tomorrow? I really hope it does.
Me too. Same.
What does that say? I really hope it. Oh,
Anyway.
it does. Anyway,
The prison warden is
the
calling
prison warden
time.
is calling time, and I have to go back to my cell. Your new friend, Jeffrey.
No, we don't need new friends. Thank you.
P.S.
Jeffrey.
I'm innocent. I just found those bodies like that.
Okay, Jeffrey, please don't say your last name starts with a D because no. I would pick a machete, probably a machete, because you know you can do a lot with it. You can harvest stuff, you can chop heads, close up and personal.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about.
We're not going to talk back to people that are in prison. Thank you. We have to do another one. There has to be one better
Okay,
than that.
yeah.
One less scary than
One
that.
more.
We're in the prisons, Lorraine. That's something. Maybe
Okay.
I might get a husband from the prison. At least I know where they are and I don't have to go near them.
Okay.
Oh, dear Lorraine.
Maybe the ones that are on death row.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
I mean, no. Dear Lorraine from Two Horse Reviews. Hi Lorraine, my name is Melanie. Hi Melanie.
Hey, Melanie.
I liked watching the Unstable Chats. You have very pretty hair. Can I have some of it? It looks so soft. If you say yes, you can send it. No. We're not sending hair to anybody. No. Okay. I'm really worried about the people that are writing to us, Lorraine. It might be that here. Look, that has this one, please. There has to be one that's nicer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, same.
Okay.
Scared. I'm so scared.
Dear you humans, listen here. Stop making stupid internet videos and what's the thing?
And feed me. Or
Feed me or get out of my sight. I have a doctor's note that says I'm not allowed. I have a doctor's note that says I'm not, what does it say? Allowed what?
To be taken out of my feed. Nice try, Maisie. Nice try. You guys are not allowed to write fan letters to us. Who helped you? Okay, these are the last ones. Oh, that's not going to be good.
Oh.
Dear Two Horse Reviews, I don't think you are in any position to tell me not to murder people. I will do what I need to do to keep the voices appeased. You're a psycho guy 55. Oh, I think I said it in passing last week.
Oh yeah.
Dear Two Horse Reviews, your segment on body positivity was awesome. I really want to see more of Gary and Phil. I think they should have their own show. That is the last time you've been writing fan letters. Ever. You're all weird and wonderful, and people from prison, please don't be asking us about murder weapons.
Well, we better say goodbye from Gary and Phil.
Googly eyes for Gary, so everyone knows what he's
Letitia.
and Letitia Lines.
Okay, bye for now.
Oh, they're so weird.
I wonder how long that was. 40 minutes, I suppose.
And there'll be a few bits.